Hello, everyone. I'm Gail McGovern, and I have the privilege of serving as President and CEO of the American Red Cross. I truly wish I could be spending time with all of you in person, but I'm still delighted for the opportunity to connect with you virtually and to share a great big thank you for your remarkable commitment to the Red Cross and those we serve. As we all know, this past year has been filled with so many challenges for our nation and for the world. But when I think about this difficult time, I am filled with gratitude for the extraordinary volunteers, employees, donors, and community partners who empowered the Red Cross to be able to fulfill our mission every day. The COVID-19 pandemic did not change our mission, but it certainly did force us to quickly change the way we deliver our mission. I'm proud to say that just like we've done for the past 140 years, the Red Cross rose to the challenge. When disasters like hurricanes, wildfires, and tornadoes displaced families, we quickly pivoted to having people stay in hotels so we could minimize the risk of transmitting COVID. When schools and businesses closed at the beginning of the pandemic, thousands of blood drives were canceled, and we quickly forged new partnerships with hotels, sports venues, and the like, so that we could host socially distant drives in large spaces. We also adopted strict safety protocols to protect the health of our blood donors, our volunteers, and our employees. Not only did we safely meet our nation's demand for blood, we took on a new role of collecting and distributing convalescent plasma from people who fully recovered from COVID-19. And this antibody-rich plasma was used to help patients who were battling the deadly virus. Of course, we also continued our work to provide comfort and care to the members of the U.S. military, our veterans, and their families. I'm the wife of a Vietnam vet, the daughter of a World War II vet, and the proud mom of an active duty airman. So this part of our mission has a special place in my heart. And I am so proud of how we've been able to carry out our work. Instead of working in large call centers, our dedicated Red Crossers are now handling emergency calls from their homes. And we quickly pivoted many of our support offerings for our military members and their families to virtual workshops. Like the other parts of our mission, we've adapted how we teach life-saving courses like CPR and first aid. In addition to smaller class sizes, we're delivering training online. And around the globe, we continue to help other Red Cross and Red Crescent societies with our data and technical expertise to help combat the spread of the virus. All of this life-saving work is only possible because of people like you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for your steadfast and generous support of the Red Cross mission. Now more than ever, our nation and the world need the American Red Cross. Thank you for transforming your compassion into action to help people in need. And please enjoy this special program, and I hope to see you all again in person very soon. Thank you.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Heroes in the Heartland. I'm Daniela Vitable from WOWT. It's a pleasure and honor to be with you today to recognize some incredible acts of heroism and amazing service to our community. You are joining us on a special occasion, as this year marks the 20th year that the Red Cross of the Omaha Council Bluffs Metro area has honored local citizens with the Heroes in the Heartland event. It's also the first time we have had to hold this gathering virtually. This is a wonderful celebration as we honor ordinary people from our own community who have done extraordinary things. We are all aware that this has been a challenging year. However, I think we can agree that in times like this, it's important to recognize people who go above and beyond to help their community and put the needs of others above their own. We have 4 hero stories to share with you today, but we know there are so many more heroes out there. This year, first responders, health professionals, and others on the front line put in long hours and stressful days as we dealt with COVID-19. We have seen scientists and researchers working around the clock to learn more about this virus. From truck drivers to grocery store workers to teachers, there are so many people we could honor today. We celebrate all of those heroes. Heroes in the Heartland is made possible thanks to several companies and individuals who are generous supporters of the Red Cross and its mission. Today's sponsors are listed right there on your screen. We are so grateful for your support of this event and for all that you do to advance the Red Cross mission. In addition to recognizing the heroes, we are here to raise money to support the amazing work that the American Red Cross is doing every single day. The money raised today will help support the Home Fire campaign. This campaign includes preparedness efforts such as installing free smoke alarms in homes that need them. The campaign also helps families recover following a home fire. It's inspiring to know that when disasters strike, the Red Cross is there to help. As we go through today's program, you have the opportunity to support the work of the Red Cross. On the left of your screen, you will see some options for making a donation. You can make your gift while viewing today's program. If you're watching us today on a mobile device, you will need to exit full screen, then scroll down to make a donation. You could also text the word Nebraska Heroes, that's one word, to 76278. I hope you will consider making a donation today. It's almost time to start recognizing our heroes. Before we get to our first story, I want to introduce Greg Key from Leader Construction.
Hi, I'm Greg Key, president of Leader Construction. Here at Leader, we see our business as a way to positively impact lives. That's our why for doing everything we do. And that mission aligns so well with the why of the American Red Cross. While the words are different, what the Red Cross does is positively impacting lives every minute of every day. Whether through their efforts to minimize and alleviate human suffering in the face of disasters, supporting our military men and women during challenging times, or saving lives by ensuring a safe and ready blood supply, the Red Cross is always at work to make life better. So that's why we've chosen to support the American Red Cross here in the Heartland with our time and money. Whether it's hosting a blood drive, providing supporting donations, or engaging in the board, we know our efforts are positively impacting lives. At the end of the day, that's what truly matters, and we're proud to support the American Red Cross.
Thank you, Greg. The individuals we are honoring today, while they might not be comfortable being called one, fit the description of a hero. I'm excited to share these stories with you. Our first award is the Call to Action Hero Award. This is given to an individual or group who, by circumstances beyond their control, found themselves in a challenging situation and demonstrated extraordinary courage. Let's meet our first hero.
You know, I've been with the sheriff's office for 30 years now. This is the first agency that I've worked for. So I probably decided to become an officer probably in my junior high years. You never know from moment to moment what's going to happen. But ultimately, I think I like helping people.
He's a great guy. He's a go-getter. Everything he does 100%. He runs our Marine rescue team. He spent a lot of time on SWAT. So he's all in all the time.
I've known Dennis for 10 years probably. I actually taught 3 of his kids. So I've known him for quite a long time. But when COVID started and all the gyms closed down, we got in a group of mutual friends and started working out in parks and outside areas where we could maintain distance and work out 3 or 4 times a week.
We work out for an hour to an hour and a half, doing different workouts outside. It was just another one of our routine workouts. It was a nice day that day.
We got there, we took a warm-up jog, just a mild jog, just to warm up.
We ran our mile. Everybody kind of converged in the area of the park where we're going to meet kind of at the same time.
We have like a dozen different workouts that we do, and we were kind of planning, talking, should we do this day? And I had just got back from the run. I said, gosh, my chest is tight. I'm having such a hard time breathing. So we were just sitting there talking. All of a sudden, my world just started spinning. And I told him, oh, guys, I'm going down, going down.
I immediately went over, rolled him over, put him in a recovery position. Within a matter of moments, he just went limp in my arms. And then I rolled him on his back, started CPR. I told my wife and the other members of the group that they needed to call 911. I just continued doing compressions on Dave. A couple different times, I felt as though he almost came back. So I rolled him in a recovery position for just a few moments, and then rolled him back and continued CPR. I did CPR for about maybe 7 minutes until a couple of Papillion police officers showed up. And I really knew that an AED can probably be a changing device in this situation.
I think it's a unique situation. Of course, all our people are trained CPR. They can use AED equipment, that kind of thing. He was the only one of that group that knew CPR.
Shortly thereafter, Papillion Fire arrived. Their medics took over care. They eventually wound up using an AED and shocking Dave. And at some point, they actually got him back to where he was able to talk to us.
When I came through and I was trying to figure out why they called the ambulance, because I thought I just passed out, and that's when I realized what happened. I found out afterwards that he did CPR for 7 to 8 minutes. And then they used an AED on me 3 times. It zapped me back to life the 3rd time. So honestly, thank God every day that he was there. Part of it is it's just who Dennis is. He just goes to work. It's the same thing when we work out. He's just all business.
All the pieces of the puzzle are falling in place, and this works. And this story isn't about me, it's about him. But he survived this due to his determination, his will to live. That's really the story here.
And I want people to get CPR trained. It's only a couple hours out of your day, but it could save a good friend. I have 4 boys, and one thing I've always taught them is to surround yourself with good people. And I did that, and that's why I'm here today. Dennis is good people, so.
Wow, that was incredible. Thank you, Dennis. That story is a great reminder of the importance of knowing CPR. The Red Cross offers CPR training along with courses that teach other life-saving skills. I encourage you to visit redcross.org to learn more. Now I would like to introduce Jill Orton. Jill is a Nebraska native who has more than 25 years of service with the Red Cross. She has served as the executive director for the Omaha Council Bluffs Metro chapter since 2014 and is the region executive for Nebraska and Iowa. Good afternoon, Jill.
Danielle, thank you for that introduction and for being our MC for today's event. I want to thank WOWT for serving as our media sponsor. WOWT has been very helpful in spotlighting this event, and we appreciate our partnership. We are honored to have many distinguished guests joining us today. We traditionally recognize elected and appointed officials in attendance, but that is not so easy in this virtual experience. However, we do want to highlight the tremendous support we've received over the past year from several officials. The example, Governor Pete Ricketts sponsored a blood drive at the Nebraska Department of Administrative Services. Governor Ricketts also helped promote the need for blood at his weekly press conferences. He and the First Lady also personally donated blood. U.S. Congressman Don Bacon donated blood and helped to promote blood drives, as did David Black of Papillion and Doug Kindig of La Vista. The efforts of all of our elected officials to support our mission is truly appreciated. We are able to fulfill the Red Cross mission throughout the Omaha Council Bluffs Metro area due to the engagement of an outstanding board of directors led by this year's board chair, Lee Rankin. You can see our board members listed on the screen. These individuals are actively involved in the mission of the Red Cross, and I am so grateful for their dedication and willingness to serve. Additionally, I want to take a moment to thank our volunteers and staff. This past year has required all of us to rethink how we deliver our mission, and we've had to adapt to new ways of carrying out our services. The commitment of our team never wavered. In the last year, we helped nearly 300 families following home fires or other disasters in the metro area. While the food, shelter, and supplies are welcomed by those we serve, it is often the care and comfort, many times in the form of a hug or a hand on the shoulder, that mean the most. I know that this past year has been difficult for our volunteers who haven't been able to offer that kind of personal comfort, yet they still found a way to provide this emotional support. In addition to our disaster services, we also taught life-saving skills, provided services to members of the military and their families, and collected blood for patients in need. Thank you to all who made that possible. I also want to thank those who made financial contributions to ensure that we could address the needs of our community. The generosity we continue to see is so appreciated. Finally, thank you to everyone who is joining us today. We missed the opportunity to gather together for our usual Heroes in the Heartland luncheon, but we made it a priority to have this event, and I am thrilled to be able to gather virtually with you to share these outstanding hero stories and thank our sponsors, volunteers, and supporters. Speaking of our wonderful sponsors, we have a special message from another one of our sponsors now.
Hello, my name is James Bowles. I'm an attorney in the law department at Union Pacific Railroad. I'm standing here in the atrium at Union Pacific Center to answer a simple question. Why does Union Pacific support the Red Cross? Well, as luck would have it, the answer is equally simple. Union Pacific is made up of more than 30,000 employees, tens of thousands of miles of track, running through 23 states. In those states, in those communities, we work, we live, and we are supported by the Red Cross. Union Pacific is all too happy to support the Red Cross in its support of the communities in which we live and work. Union Pacific is also happy to honor the heroes in the Heartland. Thank you.
Thank you, James. Our next award is the Commitment to Community Hero, which is presented to individuals who have made a tremendous impact on the community through their service to others. Take a look.
So I am the emergency management leader for Nebraska Medicine. And then I'm also one of the executive directors of the Global Center for Health Security.
Shelley is the most authentic person you'll ever meet. She's just a trusted leader, a good person.
Shelley does things that are incredible both at work, outside of work, and she really has made a tremendous impact both locally, regionally, and nationally.
Shelley is a hero in my opinion because she has used her talents to serve like no other person that I know during this pandemic.
She really took a leadership role in making sure that Nebraska Medicine, UNMC, as well as our entire community was prepared for the pandemic.
So she's taken the learnings and the resources and gone out into the community, working in the packing plants and in the long-term care facilities, in the schools.
Shelley is boots on the ground, so she's not sitting in her office pontificating about what could be done. Who went to the meat packing plants? Shelley. who looked at the environment and thought about ways to make them safer and protect those men and women who are working on the front lines every day. That was Shelley.
We've done a lot of site visits at meat packing plants and shelters and schools, and then also long-term care and assisted living facilities. So how do you screen your employees when they come into work every day? How do you communicate with your employees about your workforce policies when you've got 11 different languages? It was not uncommon early on to do tours and see people wearing their masks incorrectly. So really a lot of education and training. And then most recently really worked with key stakeholders to really work through the surge we had in hospitalizations in October, November of this year, December. So really making sure that as a state we were working together to collaborate and coordinate, movement of patients, supplies, things that were needed. So just really kind of connecting the dots.
She's not afraid to put herself on the line, put everything she's got into any job to solve a problem.
It doesn't matter, day, night, weekend, holiday, it doesn't matter. Shelley will give 150% all the time.
Shelley is absolutely a hero. I think you see what she's going out, she's leading, she's literally saving lives and helping us to continue on to do what we want to do every day, and really keeping things going across the state and helping to support things nationally. Shelley's absolutely a hero.
Thank you, Shelley, for your tireless work. We have two more hero stories that we want to share with you. But first, I want to take a moment to discuss some opportunities for you to support the Red Cross. Whether it's responding to a home fire or natural disaster, providing blood to hospitals, or teaching life-saving skills, the Red Cross continues to do an incredible job of improving the quality of life in our community. At times, the work of the Red Cross may be taken for granted. However, if the Red Cross is unable to perform its work, we as a community would certainly feel the pain and burden of its absence. It's critical that the American Red Cross remains vibrant and active in our community. The Red Cross exists through the generosity of donors. The financial support of some large contributors are very much appreciated. But you'll be interested to know that a high percentage of the annual budget of the Red Cross is funded by relatively small contributions from thousands of people who recognize the broad scope of services provided by the Red Cross and its volunteers. All donations make a difference. For example, $20 provides 2 hot meals to someone who lost their home in a fire. $30 covers the installation of 2 smoke alarms. $300 covers the daily cost to deploy an emergency response vehicle that delivers supplies to disaster locations. I hope you will consider making a donation to support this wonderful organization. Whatever the size, your gift will help ensure that volunteers can continue providing help and hope to our neighbors, whether across the country or right here at home in the Omaha Council Bluffs Metro area. A reminder that on the left side of your screen, you will see some options for making a donation, and you're able to make your gift while viewing today's program. If you're watching us on a mobile device, you'll need to exit full screen, then scroll down to make a donation. You can also text Nebraska Heroes, that's one word, to 76278. Again, that's 76278. Your gift will make a difference. Let's check in on the donations that are coming in. Okay, here we go. We have a little more than $119,000. Big thank you to Baxter Auto, American National Bank, First National Bank, Pinnacle Bank. We have Tom Berderson, CHI Health. Thank you to all of our supporters. Thank you for donating. Keep those donations coming in. It's because of you guys that the Red Cross is able to make a difference in our community. There are many people who made this event possible, but we want to say a special thank you to Sandy and Kate Dodge, who are serving as our honorary chairs for this year's Heroes in the Heartland. Sandy and Kate are gracious humanitarians who are very active in the community. We are proud to have them as today's honorary chairs. I'm going to send it back over to Jill for a visit with Sandy and Kate.
I'm excited today to be visiting with our Heroes in the Heartland 20th anniversary honorary chairs, Kate and Sandy Dodge. Welcome and thank you for being here today. We are really excited about this opportunity, and you are really trailblazers for us in our first ever virtual event.
Well, you're very welcome. We feel honored to be here.
Kate and Sandy, in numerous ways, you have shown the community of Omaha an enduring legacy. Please share us what inspires this commitment to community.
Well, Omaha and Council Bluffs have been strong supporters of our company, our employees, and our family since the first Dodges came from the Midwest from Massachusetts 165 years ago. So if we can get involved in any way to help, we try to do so. It is really a privilege to participate, and we are fortunate that now the fifth generation of the Dodges are doing the same.
Wow, what a legacy. So Sandy and Kate, why the Red Cross? Why did you decide to so generously support us?
Well, you know, the Red Cross throughout its history has responded to emergencies and disasters. It's truly a humanitarian organization. It seems to value all people. So particularly in today's world, its mission resonates with us, along with its amazing ability to quickly respond when and where it's needed, frankly, anywhere in the world. When our company asked the Red Cross how we could help several years ago, we were made aware of the need for blood donations in this community to save lives. And today, as a result of that, 3 or 4 times a year, the Blood Mobile comes to each of our company offices to give our employees the privilege of helping others by contributing blood. So our support today is really a thank you to the Red Cross.
Oh, it's such amazing that we have partners such as MP Dodge and the two of you. In fact, you generously support a board member, and Mike Greenman shared with me yesterday your newsletter that had us in it with your blood drives. So thank you for sharing. So going from blood to flood, no pun intended, the two of you had mentioned to us that you were impressed by the work that the Red Cross did during the 2019 spring flooding. Can you tell me why?
Sure. We have employees and agents in Elkhorn, Waterloo, and Blair whose properties were flooded and who lost most, and in some incidents, all of their possessions. The Red Cross was immediately there to help and continued its assistance until they were safe. Our Omaha employees also joined the effort, and we did a fund drive for the victims to support them at the same time.
So from saving lives with blood to responding to disasters, that brings us to present day COVID pandemic times. And it's really different for all of us. And knowing that now more than ever, it's important to get involved. What message or messages may you have for our community to get involved?
You know, just know that once you do start supporting any of the extraordinary not-for-profits in our community by volunteering, it will be so much more rewarding than you would ever have dreamed, and will really enhance your life as well as that of others.
We have some amazing inspirational heroes that we're recognizing today. As honorary chairs of this event, what messages do you have for them? What would you like to say or tell them?
Well, our reaction when we read the unique examples of heroism for each nominee was that the task we were given to rank them was impossible. They all deserved to be honored, some of them jumping in to help a stranger, risking their own life. Our message to them is by sharing their stories, others will emulate them and the story will change lives.
So Kate and Sandy, thank you for being honorary chairs for the Heroes in the Heartland event, our 20th year. And thank you for volunteering. Thank you for being a great representative of our community, and also for your very generous contributions.
Thank you.
Thank you also.
And now we are going to continue on to recognizing our amazing heroes.
I'm Gail Grave, Vice President of Community Affairs for Mutual of Omaha. As an insurance company, we know that sometimes life happens. Unexpected events can create stress and unease. We are proud to support the American Red Cross because they provide a safety net, assisting those facing the most difficult of situations. Every 8 minutes, the American Red Cross responds to an emergency. That means that for every minute of the day, this organization is prepared to respond, bring resources, expertise, and most importantly, bring a real human connection that can ease someone's fear and literally save a life. On behalf of our employees and customers, thank you to the staff and volunteers of the American Red Cross. You're the true heroes, and we're proud to support you in this important work.
The next hero is the Public Servant Hero Award, which is presented to an individual or group who, in the line of duty, performed above and beyond the call. Let's meet our next hero.
I'm a deputy chief with the Omaha Police Department. I've been on the department for 25 years. I just consider myself a person in the right place at the right time with the right tools and mindset to maybe make a difference.
Deputy Chief Gray's always been one since I've known him. He's always volunteered to help out. You can always depend on him.
It was St. Patrick's Day last year, and I had just gotten home from work and needed to go to the grocery store and get a few things. I think my whole trip in there was probably about a minute and a half. I mean, it was pretty quick trip in there. And when I walked up to the counter, I noticed the two young ladies that were working there. They acted like I wasn't even there. I mean, they were looking out the door, out towards the parking lot. One of them, I get to see her face turn pale, and she goes, "I think he has a gun." And then she goes, "I think he's shooting." Right then, I hear the first couple shots. So I ran back through the store to the main entrance, hoping to cut this guy off. I didn't know who it was because it was pretty chaotic. There were a lot of people just running all over the place. Fortunately, that day, I had decided to carry my firearm off duty. Well, by that time, I could see an individual. He's a pretty tall guy. I kind of peeked out from behind this display of Gatorade, and I could see that he's got the gun in his hand, and he's like looking down each checkout row as he's coming back towards us. I just assumed at that point he was looking for people to shoot. By that point, I had drawn my weapon out, and I stepped out from behind the display. I brought my gun up, and I put my front sight on his chest, and I was just about ready to pull the trigger. Tom Winsel, a citizen, very brave individual, jumped out and tried to tackle him. Tom kind of knocked him down so that the guy was like in a seated position on the ground, but the gun was still free. So I'm running towards them, and the gun's still waving around, and I grabbed the gun because he had it down in front of him. Grabbed the gun and just got kind of the death grip on it, and I actually used my gun and I just pistol whipped him 3 or 4 times across the head, and he let go of the gun.
I was actually walking my police K-9 in the neighborhood with my wife when somebody came driving by and said there's an active shooter. So that's when I just handed my leash to my wife and took off running.
I was glad to look up and see Dave coming towards me. Ironically, Dave and I were both a couple of the first officers at Von Maur. We train for this kind of thing. I'm a longtime firearms instructor, so I'm comfortable with firearms and my skills and tactics. I've taught active shooter response before. I was involved with the school shooting at Millard South in 2010.
That's kind of what it is to be a police officer.
The incidents you experience definitely affect you, and you learn from them, but I don't let them, necessarily define who I am.
People throw around that hero term a lot. We always run towards the problems. There might have been a lot of lives lost that day.
I don't know about you all, but that story definitely just gave me goosebumps. Thank you, Deputy Chief Gray, for your actions on that day and what you do every day in serving the metro area. Just a reminder to keep those donations coming in. Every dollar raised today will go to support the efforts of the Red Cross to help families prevent or recover from a home fire. We have one more hero story to share, but first we want to hear from Farm Credit Services.
Hello, my name is Jared Rhyme, and here at Farm Credit Services of America, I have the privilege to work with the American Red Cross to coordinate on-site blood drives. We have been hosting these blood drives for more than 20 years. The American Red Cross is a fantastic group to work with, and they provide vital services 365 days a year, so we know our donations will go to a good use. With the COVID-19 pandemic, communities needed blood now more than ever. With the restrictions in place, we were able to safely host 5 blood drives within 4 months. With these efforts, we were able to collect 206 units, potentially saving 618 lives. Because of the impact it has on the community and the lives that it saves, we already have 4 blood drives on our calendars for 2021, thanks to our partnership with the American Red Cross and our employees' desire to give.
Thank you to Farm Credit Services for your support. Our final award is the Gift of Life Hero. This award goes to individuals, groups, or organizations that support the life-saving mission of the American Red Cross through blood or platelet donations, or inspire others to give blood or platelets. Let's watch our final hero story.
So I work with Dan at the Air Force, at Offutt Air Force Base in the maintenance group. He's the chief of operations.
I'm a civilian employee at Offutt in charge of aircraft maintenance type work that we do.
He emulates everything you would want in a person. He cares for others, and that's his heart of gold, I would say. So I know throughout the year, he runs and assists with different blood drives with the Red Cross. When I asked why he does this or when he started with the Red Cross, his answer was very simple. He likes to help people. He feels it's his civic duty and personal honor.
When we donate blood, we have the opportunity to affect and potentially save up to 3 lives with each donation. And so when we have a blood drive and we have 30, maybe 50 donors come into there, that's maybe 100 or 150 people that we're able to help out and potentially save their lives.
Most people, when they have vacation days, they use those days for vacation or for personal time. Dan Chuck uses his vacation days to actually assist during the blood drives.
There may be some other way that you can influence or affect the lives of other people in the same way that you can with a blood donation, but I don't know what it would be. When I donate blood or when I run a blood drive, in some way I give people a chance for one more. And one more means a lot of things to a lot of different people. It might be one more Christmas, one more Thanksgiving, one more hug, one more chance to say thank you, one more. And I think that's what we do when we donate blood.
Thank you, Dan, for your efforts to support the important act of donating blood. There are opportunities every day for you to donate blood. Just visit redcrossblood.org to find a drive near you. If we were in our usual in-person setting, I would ask for a round of applause for our heroes. Today, a virtual round of applause will have to do. Let's check in on the donations that are coming in. Wow, look at that. We have raised over $120,000 today. We are now at 80% of our goal. Let's see some of our donors. We have Andrew Neal, Tim Neal, Mutual of Omaha, Security National Bank Omaha, Jill Orton, Sandy Parker, PayPal. Thank you so much to our incredible donors of today's event. And just remember, every dollar counts. It all helps the American Red Cross. If you have a donation you want to make, but you haven't done so, check out the left side of your screen for an opportunity to give. A reminder that if you're on a mobile device, you'll need to exit full screen and scroll down to make a donation. If you're watching a recording of this event and you want to donate, the text to give option is the best way to do that. Just text the word Nebraska Heroes to 76278. As we get ready to bring our event to a close, I would like to bring in Red Cross Board Chair Lee Rankin.
Thank you, Danielle, for helping us showcase this year's Heroes in the Heartland. I want to thank the team at Reimagine Experiences for producing this virtual event today. This is our first venture into the world of virtual events, and your guidance was key to making today a success. I also want to thank Nate Gassaway of Goswin Visual Marketing for creating the Heroes videos we saw today. To our sponsors and donors, as always, thank you. The Red Cross makes a difference in our community because of the support you provide. I also want to recognize those who were champions for the Heroes in the Heartland. These individuals played a large role in promoting today's event and bringing in donations to support the Red Cross. I'm not sure if you're aware that March is Red Cross Month, a time when we recognize and appreciate our volunteers, supporters, and blood donors. It is also a time to raise awareness of the organization's mission, which is to prevent and alleviate human suffering in the face of emergencies. It is this mission, with the dedication of volunteers and of course the generosity of donors, that makes this all possible. If you aren't already, I encourage you to consider becoming a Red Cross volunteer, blood donor, or financial supporter. Please consider this an opportunity to make such a difference. It is such a wonderful way to serve our community. Thank you all for being a part of today's celebration.
And thank you, Lee. This has been a great event, and it has been a pleasure to be with you. Thank you for joining the 20th Annual Heroes in the Heartland. Have a great afternoon, everyone.
As the pandemic wears on, relentless and devastating disasters continue to upend lives across the country. This year, families have spent more nights in emergency lodging than any other year over the past decade. Yet through it all, the Red Cross is there, stepping up to help those in need.
The compassion that the Red Cross has shown for us as a family, I've never had anybody just drop everything to help us.
Red Cross volunteers are providing refuge, food, and emotional support, following record-breaking wildfires, hurricanes, and other emergencies.
If it was not for Red Cross, we wouldn't have anywhere to go.
See where that watermark on the glass?
Exactly. I can just tell you, we are grateful for Red Cross.
The need for blood is also constant, and throughout the pandemic, blood donors are helping to save lives by rolling up a sleeve to donate life-saving blood. And thousands of COVID-19 survivors are helping too, by giving potentially life-saving antibodies through plasma donations to help treat those seriously ill.
The plasma gave my body the boost that it needed to fight COVID.
As we end this year, we are grateful to every one of you for your generosity and your support. Thank you for all you do and for answering the call to help those in need.
Without the Red Cross and the donations, we wouldn't know where to turn in this time, and so we just really want to say thank you.
Nobody's